One of the things that I see where people get manifestation wrong is they think if they feel bad, they're doing something wrong, when so often it's the opposite. And I have a really good example in my life of something that just happened right now on this. But first, I kind of want to break this down. Like, think of when you were a kid and how small your container was to hold space for something. Like if you spilled milk, or do kids spill milk? For me in my life, do kids drink milk? Anyway, I'm not a big milk drinker, but like the first time that I ate sushi, I cried. Like that was I had a very very small container of the emotional capacity that I could hold, right? Oh, and as you grow up, you can hold more and more and more. And sometimes when we become an adult, we forget that, and we think that if we're feeling something bad, that we're doing something wrong. But the key concept here is the feelings lag. And when we lean into these actions that we know from that place of knowing, like, this is what I need to do, that's where the growth is. And it's not going to feel good when we do it. This is something deeply personal in my life just this past week was the house there. Actually, you can see it. That house in my backyard, I built it for my father maybe 3 years ago, so that I could support him. And as time has progressed, he has Alzheimer's or dementia or whatever label you want to call it. As time has progressed, he's required more care. And just last week, what I knew, like intuitively in my heart and my soul, is that he's going to be happier with a higher level of support than I could provide. So I acted on that decision. And we drove to, I scoped out a place well before where he could stay and he could have the care that he deserves. And I felt like even just driving to this place, it was tough. Like I felt I was at my maximum of my container. This experience for me, at least, right, was me pushing that edge, me growing that container, and I knew it was the action that I needed to do. There's a huge part of me that didn't want to, and I just had to focus on what's the next step. What's the next step? Even now, if you like see my face, because I can feel it, I feel so like drained thinking about that because it was just like there was so much, and I just kind of had to like. It wasn't push myself to it because there was a pull for it, but I had to listen to that pull, right? Where the part of me living from this frequency was like, oh, I want to avoid this. And choosing not to, choosing to lean into that action that I knew was right. And then going to that home and clarifying with him, like, that this is where he's going to live, and he understood some, and he, subconsciously he understood all of it, but, the communication is, some days are good, some days are less good. But while things were being explained for him to understand what was happening in that moment, he teared up. And then maybe this is the first time I've ever saw him cry. And I just lovingly and honestly spoke to him that this was the best thing for him. And this was really, really tough. If I look at my life, this might be one of the toughest things that I had to do. And then he looked at me and said, okay, I'll do it. And then I went in the car and cried. That was a really, really tough thing to do. Since doing that, I feel how much I expanded. I feel my capacity grow, right? And it's not always going to be like this core memory, life pivotal experience like the one I'm just describing. That one was just top of mind because it just happened last week, right? But the more and more we lean into that, of deciding from the place of the energy that we are moving towards, of the energy that we want to be, as opposed to deciding from the place of where we are now. If we decide from the place of where we are now, we're going to get the results that we already have. That's maintenance. That's how we stay the same, right? Where when you push it and it feels uncomfortable, but you're called, you can feel that pull to that action. That's where we increase our container. That's where we increase our capacity. That's where we up level our vibration to be more in alignment with what it is that we're calling into our life. And that's uncomfortable and that feels bad because our feelings lag. I hear knocking. I think it's just my dog scratching. I don't know how someone could even get. They would have had to climb a fence to knock, and my dogs would have barked. No one would climb the fence with how giant my dog is. Anyway, we have cell phones. If it's important, they would call. Anyway, back to what is important. What I'm saying to you right now, is when we see the truth that it is going to feel bad because we're not used to that feeling yet. It felt bad to drive to that place. It felt nervous when my dad was tearing up. I wanted to be there for him. And I am being there for him by doing that, by leaning into that decision that's best for him. Side note, the place actually sent me a video 1 hour later where he's just like dancing and having the time of his life. So this situation seems to have been much easier for him than it was for me. I was crying in the car and he's like dancing. But that's what we're talking about, right? Being willing to feel that feeling that's tough. Wow. My stand decided it was done. Okay, we're here. We're doing it. We're rocking this video. So let me just, yeah. I have a little electronic stand and it decided to turn off. That's never happened before. Maybe the battery? No. Anyway, you don't care. So lean into when you know that action, when you're connecting to your vision, when you're connecting to that part of you that's creating the life that you want to create. Expect that it's going to feel uncomfortable and be willing to feel that discomfort. That means you're on the right path. There's a book that I read, The Obstacle is the Way. And after reading that book, I repatterned my relation to fear. When I felt fearful, and we're not talking like a bus coming or something like this, when I felt fearful of an action, that actually raised alarm bells in me of the importance of that action. That this is, oh, I'm feeling fearful because the old part of me, how I'm used to relating to life, is feeling scared because that part's dying off. That part's losing its certainty. We're stepping into an unknown part of ourselves. But I'm feeling a call from that. So that's actually the safest thing that we can do. So reframing what these feelings mean. It's not like bad feeling means stop. It's, okay, this feeling's coming up while I'm taking this action. That might be telling you how important that action is. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you for bearing with the dog, the camera, the whatever else happened in this video. I love you very much. And I will be posting much more. I took a little bit of a break and I'm back. So we'll talk soon.